Hi, I'm Stephen Spencer, and I'm going to be talking to you about keyword research for SEO purposes. So first of all, a little bit about me. I'm the co-author of The Art of SEO, author of Google Power Search, co-author of the brand new book, Social E-Commerce. I founded an SEO agency in the 90s, Net Concepts. I sold it to Coari in 2010. And I am doing a SEO training and coaching program at scienceofseo.com. So here are my books. So you can see that I know a few things about SEO and am in a position to be teaching you about keyword research now. This is my daughter's blog, which generated passive income for her over a number of years, up to $1,100 in a month, which is pretty awesome. And it was all because she understood how to do keyword research and then to create content around those keywords and then to build up her authority in the eyes of Google by getting people to link to her site. So you can do it too. If a kid can do it, you can do it. So we're going to look into a few different keyword research tools that are part of my, we covered in a previous segment, keyword brainstorming using Google Suggest and so forth, as well as Subel. But in this segment, I'm going to teach you about the hardcore keyword research tools, such as the Keyword Planner from Google and Keyword Discovery and so forth. So let's start with the Google Keyword Planner because, of course, this is the tool to use to get data about Google searchers and searches, since this is coming directly from Google. Everything else is either just rehashing the same data that's coming from the Google Keyword Planner, or it's an approximation based on, I don't know, looking at a sample of internet searches over a certain set of ISPs or internet service providers or something like what Hitwise does. So this is a direct from the horse's mouth sort of tool, right? Direct from Google. It's free. You don't have to have a paid account where you're advertising with Google. You just have to sign up with Google AdWords. You don't have to spend a dime with them. Just having a Google AdWords account will get you into this tool. You can segment by country. You can segment by date range and so forth. You can see historical 12-month trends. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do inside of the Google Keyword Planner. Let's have a look. So this is the first screen that you'll get to. Actually, let me, even better, I'm going to show you by logging in and doing some searches myself. So I'm going to go to the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. I'm not even logged in, so I'm going to sign in with my AdWords account, which is the same as my Google account. It's just that I went and signed up with AdWords, and I'm not actively spending any money with Google on any advertising, but just having that account gives me access to the tool. So now I'm going to go ahead and type in a few different keywords, like let's say that I'm selling different kinds of cameras, like Nikon camera. Let's do Nikon cameras, Nikon DSLR, Nikon digital camera, Nikon digital cameras, because you don't know if like the singular is more popular, the plural, one verb tense versus another verb tense, one synonym versus another. You need to check your assumptions at the door and actually just use the tool and see what is real. Now, I've left the targeting at US. You can change it to whatever country you want to target, Canada or Europe and whatever, right? So you can change targeting. You can remove the targeting and just give you global results. You can change the date range. You can specify language, et cetera, et cetera. So I went ahead and clicked on the blue button. Now the default tab you're going to get to is Ad Group Ideas, which is not what we want. Keyword Research, we want the Keyword Ideas tab. And so you'll see that the keywords I've specified are just up here with, they're separated by commas. And I get the numbers here in the average monthly searches column. That's the column that I care most about here from an SEO perspective. It looks like Nikon cameras is the most popular keyword of this list, followed by Nikon camera. Now, this might be counterintuitive because one thing that you'll find if you type in digital camera and digital cameras is that the singular is more popular than the plural. In this case, by a factor of 5. Right? That's huge difference. But then on the previous search, where we compared Nikon camera and Nikon cameras, it was the opposite. It's kind of interesting, right? So you cannot just assume that your gut is going to be correct. Right? So Nikon cameras plural in this case is like 4.5, almost 5 times more popular than the singular. And then notice there's a little icon next to the number. This icon you can mouse over and it will show you the historical trend over the last 12 months. And then I can mouse over a particular bar and see for that month what the actual number of searches were. So it looks like it's pretty consistent. And again, I will reiterate here that I mentioned it on the slide previous that the numbers are approximations. This really, I think, hammers this home. Like you get the exact same number of searches for 6 months in a row. I don't think so. This is an approximation. It's not terribly accurate. You can also see that same thing happening for 4 months prior to that. The exact same search volume for 4 months in a row, yeah, not likely. Right? So take these numbers with a grain of salt. It's great to compare and contrast different keywords against each other, like the plural versus the singular. But as far as like trusting that it actually is 60,500 searches per month in the U.S. for that keyword, I would not bank on that. Right? So it's somewhere in that general ballpark. That's as far as I'll go. So this is the Google Keyword Planner. You can also click on one of these headings to sort by that column. So if we want to sort by average monthly searches, look at that. We're going to see Nikon way at the top of the list here. As far as related searches, 165,000 a month just for that brand by itself. But again, that's going to be more competitive and more generic than we want because Nikon sells a lot of different things. And also, it's unlikely we're going to beat out Nikon and their various sites that they own for their own brand name by itself. That's the Google Keyword Planner. Let's look at a couple other tools that I think will be very helpful in not only doing keyword research, but also kind of competitive intelligence. And these include Searchmetrics and SEMRush. So let's have a look at what both of those look like. This is Searchmetrics. I could put in a competitor's URL and then get a list of keywords that that site is ranking for as well as getting traffic for. I can do that in Searchmetrics, and I can do the same thing in SEMRush. So this is a whole bunch of different screens from Searchmetrics. Let me jump ahead to SEMRush. This is SEMRush, and if I look at the organic keyword list, you can see here that's pretty cool, right? I can get a sense for, it's almost like I've hacked into their Google Webmaster tools, but I didn't. This is not based on the Google Webmaster tools data. It's based on scraped Google search results that both Searchmetrics and SEMRush independently have garnered or grabbed, and then and we're talking like hundreds of millions of searches, and then scraping off of those pages each search listing and correlated the search on keyword with that that listing and what position it was and so forth, and then correlating that with the data from the Google Keyword Planner to see how popular these different keywords are, and extrapolating what the likely search volume is from those different keywords. You might think, wow, that was a mouthful. Let's actually see it in action. That might be a bit easier, right? So let's go to Searchmetrics, and you'll need a paid account in order to use this tool. It's well worth it. This is a really awesome tool. I'm going to put in, let's put in Zappos as an example. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the SEO specific data. So I can go here, click on more SEO data, and I'm specifically interested in the keyword list. So here we have the first 20 keywords that they rank well for that are driving traffic, and then I can click on show details to get a longer list. You can filter in different ways, like by position. If I'm only interested in those keywords that they're on page 1 for, I can look at that. I could look at only those keywords that have a high search volume according to the Google Keyword Planner. I can sort by these different column headings, and then I can export this data and pull it into an Excel spreadsheet. Pretty cool stuff. I can change the number of results per page, et cetera, et cetera. So these column headings, so this is the keyword, this is the URL that's ranking for that keyword, this is the position it's ranking for that keyword, and then this is the cost per click according to the Google Keyword Planner. And that's not very relevant if we're just looking at this data from an organic or SEO perspective. Search volume, we care about that. That's data from the Google Keyword Planner. That'll tell us how popular a keyword is. And then the traffic index is, it gives us a rough idea how much traffic that particular keyword is driving to the, in this case, Zappos.com website. So if the position of the keyword if that website is ranking quite high, like a position 1, then the traffic index is going to be higher. If it's a lower position, then it's going to be lower. If the search volume is low, then that traffic index is going to be lower. All right, so that is Searchmetrics, and this long tail tab is going to give us an even longer list of keywords, whereas that previous tab that we were just looking at is updated weekly. It gives us fresher data. This one is not as fresh, but it's a deeper analysis. It's a much longer list. Look at that, 374,000 keywords. That's impressive. So if we had some competitors who were just crushing it in Google for the keywords that we care about, and we do some competitive intelligence using a tool like Searchmetrics, imagine the insight we'll glean looking at that keyword list from that competitor. And bear in mind that your traditional competitors may not be that sophisticated at SEO. Your competition online is anybody who's outranking you for the keywords that you care about. I don't know if you've heard this this little acronym before, but SPAM stands for sites positioned above mine. I love that. Right, so we want to look at those sites positioned above mine in the search results, and then do this competitive intelligence to see what keywords they're ranking for, and thus see which ones we might want to target in addition. Okay, so that's Searchmetrics, and then SEMRush. It's a very similar tool. We'll put in Zappos again, and we'll go to the top keywords for organic. Let's go to full report. is ranking for that keyword, the search volume according to the Google Keyword Planner, traffic percentage based on of course this is all approximations, but based on the average click-through rate from that position in the search results times the search volume, and that gives them an approximation of traffic volume. You can see the historical trend for the last 12 months or so. You can let's see the number of results returned for that keyword, which isn't a very relevant or useful metric, but that's what, when you search for that keyword, that's the number of results that get supposedly returned, but you can only get the first 700 or 800 results from Google. You're not going to get tens of thousands and into the deep into the search results, so that's not a very useful metric. So this is all pretty comprehensive. We can get to, in this case, 381,000 keywords that have been tracked, and we can export to Excel, CSV, comma, separated values, which will pull right into Excel or whatever spreadsheet program you're using. You can also order custom reports, and you can change date ranges and all sorts of cool stuff. So that's SEMrush. So between those two tools, Searchmetrics and SEMrush, you're going to get a huge insight into what the competition is doing and how they're performing online. And so with that, let's close off this segment. I'll just wrap it up with one more concept, and that is looking at competitiveness. One thing I want to advise against is looking at this metric that some people consider important. I don't consider it important at all. It's called KEI, or Keyword Effectiveness Indicator. It's just a ratio of the popularity of that keyword, the search volume, versus the number of search results returned by that search engine. This is not a useful metric in my view, because it does, first of all, the keyword, the number of results returned is, it's not reliable. It's just a very rough metric, something that searchers don't care about. They just care about what's in the top set of search results. They don't care that there are 300 million results for this keyword, or 3 billion results, or 3,000 results. They just don't care. And if that number is not accurate, because Google knows that Google searchers don't care, so they don't have much incentive to make that an accurate number, then that makes this KEI ratio complete nonsense, right? And also, because there are a small set of search results returned or a large set of search results returned, does not make that keyword more competitive or less competitive. So that's something I would caution against, is looking at KEI scores. How do I judge competitiveness? I simply eyeball it. I look at the first page or two of the search results, and I look at those listings that show up, how well optimized those pages and those websites are, how clued in to SEO are those different sites, and how authoritative are each of those sites in terms of things like Moz rank, Moz trust, citation flow and trust flow from Majestic SEO, and some other metrics relating to authority and trust. So that's how I do it. So this was the keyword research segment. I hope this was valuable to you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at stefan@stefanspencer.com. Also, please follow me on Twitter. @Spencer is my handle. And I have some goodies that I'd be happy to share with you. Just email my assistant. Her email is admin@stefanspencer.com. It's STEPHAN, by the way. So email her if you would like a heavily annotated copy of this PowerPoint. So it has lots of additional tips and bullets on it. You can also get a webinar recording of an hour-long webinar I did on SEO metrics, and a best and worst practices in SEO checklist and white paper. So all of that is free. Just email my assistant, admin@stefanspencer.com to get those. Thanks for listening.